Hello everybody and welcome back to another Abigail Paige Designs video. It is currently snowing and blowing and cold outside, my absolute favorite weather, and I'm in desperate need of a little DIY therapy. So plan number one fell through because I don't actually have the project at my house. It's a little out of the ways and we've gotten probably about a foot of snow in the past 2 days. So it just was not possible for me to make it to the location that I had to go to work on the project. So plan B is, after brainstorming for good solid 45 minutes on what project I could do instead of going to work on my first project, it occurred to me that my sister and I have been talking about painting our bathroom vanity for a very long time. We don't like the wood tone that it is. It's kind of leans more towards the yellow side, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean, but we just both don't really love it. We don't really love how it kind of blends in with the wall. So I figured, why not paint it? I mean, a little paint can make a huge, huge difference. So then I got to talking to her. This will probably be in 2 separate videos, but we also have our bathroom shelf that if you've watched my gardening vlogs, you've probably seen sneak peeks of. It has all my plants sitting on it. Well, that was just a cheap $20 thing that we got off of Amazon, and although it works and it functions, I don't always trust it to hold up all of my heavy plants. So the long-term goal is that I'm going to build an actual shelf to go above our toilet, and I'm going to paint it the same color as the bathroom vanity so that way everything matches. Now, we're not going to bite off more than we can chew today. We're just going to focus on our little cabinet. I think that'll be plenty for me to just get that painting urge out of my blood. So yeah, let me give you some before shots and I'll show you where we're going to begin with this. By far the best part of being a hardware store owner's daughter is the fact that I got to go to the store for this project, pick out my paint samples, pick the paint color, mix the paint myself, and then shake it and take it home. Oh, and I also got to get all of the supplies that I needed right in the same place. So very, very convenient. I will leave all of the information about Superior Hardware, my family's hardware store, down below for you if you would like to check it out. Once I got home from a not-so-fun drive through a blizzard and a foot of snow, which I guess the only part that matters is I got home safely, but still super scary, I had to empty out the drawers so that way I could access the drawer fronts and the hardware that I was going to be removing. If you're wondering, no, this is not my drawer, it's my sister's. Sorry to expose you, T. I love you. I ended up cleaning and organizing my sister's drawer, so I think she owed me one by letting me put her little footage into this video. But then I moved on to my own drawer, and my own drawer was pretty much as organized as it was gonna get, so I just gave it a good wipe and yeah, put everything back. This was my first time ever tackling a project like this fully by myself. I had watched plenty of videos and plenty of tutorials on how to paint bathroom vanities, but I had just never done it. That said, the process was pretty straightforward, and I felt like I was more than capable of removing a couple hardware parts, painting a bathroom vanity, and then just putting all of the parts back. So it really was not that difficult, and it didn't take that long. I highly recommend that you do this to your bathroom vanity, even if you're not the best DIYer. But if you hate your bathroom vanity, this is the way to fix that. Paint can seriously change the way your entire bathroom, room, house looks. I mean, it's just amazing to me how a little bit of color adds so much life to a home. Now, I did not see anybody wipe down their bathroom vanities before they attempted this project, but it just made a lot of sense to me to do it for mine because we live in a log home, and log homes attract a lot of dust, and dust is not paint's friend. I didn't want any particles or lumpy paint, so that had to go. And then after I was done with that, I just prepped and got ready to prime. I just used the Kills Interior Primer. I believe it was the original version, and I love this primer. It works great. I've now used it probably over 3 or 4 times, all on different surfaces, and I love it. I've used it on laminate, I've used it on wood, and it really just does the job. And it's affordable, so for somebody like me who was trying to keep this a budget project, that was a bonus. I will leave links to all of the products that I used on my bathroom vanity down below for you in case you're interested in attempting this project yourself. I chose a 2-inch angled paintbrush for this project, and it worked great for cutting. I was a little worried because I actually didn't have painter's tape, guys, for this project, and that is because I could not find any in my house to save my life, and I was banking on the fact that we already had some at home when I went to the hardware store to pick up the paint, and it turned out that we didn't. So I had to get creative because there was no way in heck that I was going back out in that terrible blizzard. After racking my brain for probably 30 to 40 minutes on what I was going to use instead of painter's tape, I eventually concluded that there is nothing like painter's tape. I had duct tape, but that is certainly not the same as painter's tape. So I just decided, you know what, we're just going to go for it, and I'll be super duper careful and make sure I have a ton of paper towel on hand. Was this situation ideal? Nope, but that's just how projects go. There is always going to be something that doesn't go the way you intended it to go. And for this project, it was not having painter's tape and another little situation you'll see coming up. But you know what? I still love the end result just as much as I would have loved it if both those things went my way, and I think that there's something to be said about, having a project not go exactly as planned. It really teaches you to just go with the flow and be accepting of the fact that not everything will always go your way. While I was letting the primer on the actual bathroom vanity finish drying, I went ahead and started on my drawer fronts and my cabinet door. I just took all of the hardware off of the fronts, and then I took the hinges off of the cabinet door, and yeah, I slapped a coat of primer on them. Can we just take a minute to admire the amateurity here? Oh my gosh, I struggled so much to get those stupid hinges and those knobs off of those drawer fronts. It was a little embarrassing, not gonna lie. And just like that, it was time to crack open our fresh paint that was mixed by yours truly. The nice part about that primer, and no, this is not sponsored before I go any further, but I just really love the fact that the Kiehl's Interior Primer dries super duper quick. So I really only had to wait about 20 minutes until I could start painting, which was super nice. So gray was actually my second color choice. I was originally thinking of going dark because, as you may or may not know, dark cabinets are a thing right now. But then after really looking at my bathroom, I realized that we really could use a pop of gray to match our shower curtain and our trash cans. So that is why I ended up going with a lighter gray. Oh, and our bathroom is super small, so I was a little worried that if I went dark that it would make our bathroom look more closed in than it actually was. So that is why gray was the winner, and I'm so glad that I went with the gray because I think that with the rose gold hardware, it just was beautiful. And one thing that I did not account for was the fact that there was knots in our cabinet because it was kind of supposed to be like a rustic knotty pine look. So after applying my first coat, I realized that that really didn't look good because now it looked like a hole instead of a knot. And I had to cover it up with some spackling and just patch it up with my paint. Thankfully, I was only on coat 1 when my sister was like, "Hey, Abby, that kind of looks like a hole and you should probably fix it." In a perfect world, I probably would have opted to spackle before I even primed, but it was a little too late for that. So, like I said, thankfully I was doing 2 coats and it worked out just fine. I made sure to smooth it out and yeah, all was well. But take my advice. If you are painting over a knotty pine cabinet or bathroom vanity, whatever it may be, make sure that you cover up those holes and those knots before you prime and before you paint. The reason I would cover up your holes before you prime and before you paint is because it will give you a much smoother end result. Now, mine turned out fine, like I said, because I did 2 coats, but it definitely was less than ideal, and I can kind of still see it if I'm looking at my vanity in the right lighting. So, yes, take it from me, cover the holes, prime, and then paint. And yes, the drawer fronts and the cabinet door both got a second coat too. approximately 1 week later, I got back to work on this bathroom vanity. Now, the reason this became a 2 weekend project was because I was exhausted on the first day, and I was done. Between the driving through the blizzards and the being holed up in my room all day, I was ready for some dinner and a shower. So I just set everything to the side and said, you know what? This is going to be a 2 weekend project. In the end, this was a much better route to go because I really wanted to make sure that I got this bathroom vanity just right. Like, I wanted to get everything perfect, and I knew that if I tried to rush and finish it on the first day, that would just not happen. So I'm very glad that I chose to be patient, put it aside, and just call it a night. The other reason for waiting a second weekend was because my hardware had not arrived for the new bathroom vanity yet, so I was kind of stuck waiting anyways. I mean, as far as I could have gotten on that first day was putting the drawer fronts back on in the door, but it just wasn't worth it. So they waited and they sat and they had a lot of extra time to fully dry. Wow. Well, could you tell that I was excited much about the rose gold hardware? I practically tore that thing open with one hand, and I was so excited. I knew right from the minute that I ordered them, I was going to love them. I purchased both the drawer knobs and then the cabinet door pull off of Amazon, and I absolutely love them. They're super high quality, and they feel like they're very well made, so I'm really hoping that they hold up over time and wear, but I guess we shall see. And just like with the painting supplies, I will leave the rose gold hardware linked below for you guys if you would like to check it out. Another moment of amateurity here. I started using my drill to put the knob in, and then I was like, Abby, seriously, you literally could just hold the screw and twist the knob to tighten it. So, yeah, oops. I will definitely say, do not try to use a drill when you're putting in the knobs. Just use your hand. I did have to drill a second hole for our cabinet pull, but that was super easy breezy. It probably took me like 5 minutes tops. I was super impressed with myself, I must say. And project complete. I just gave everything a nice vacuum, and now let's take a look at these before and after shots. Another day, another forgotten outro. Thank you guys so very much for coming along with me today on my bathroom vanity adventure. This is a project I will never forget. Between driving through a foot plus of snow to get the paint, mixing the paint, and taking it home and painting my first ever bathroom vanity, it was very memorable. My sister and I are absolutely in love with how it came out. We could not be happier with the end result or the color that I chose. It just made our bathroom look so much more modern, and getting rid of that yellow stain was really probably the biggest upgrade that her and I have done to our room, and we're both very proud of it. I'm still hoping to do that toilet shelf down the road, but I need to A, save money for that project, and B, find the time. So it may be a little bit, but I'm sure you'll see that video in the future. Make sure to hit that like button if you love how the bathroom vanity turned out. And leave a comment below. Have you ever painted a bathroom vanity? And if you have, then what color did you paint it? And last but not least, subscribe if you love all things organizing, cleaning, decorating, and gardening. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!